You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time, Canelo beats himself.
Okay. When you find someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo.
Canelo fired back at Terence Crawford during the press event, saying Crawford isn't on his level. He criticized boxers who just try to last 12 rounds. Instead of putting on a thrilling fight, Canelo said playing it safe makes the bout dull and lets down fans who expect entertainment. Kell Brook, who's been in the ring with top names like Gennady Golovkin and Terence Crawford, shared a serious warning about the clash between Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Brook made it clear that this matchup brings a whole new level of difficulty, unlike anything Crawford has dealt with before. He explained that Canelo's fighting style is very distinct and not like Crawford's past rivals. While Crawford is smaller and relies on speed and craft, Canelo combines smart movement, heavy hands, and flexible tactics that make him special.
It's a wow. It's a wow fight, It's two supreme athletes fighting against each other, but you've got to sway towards Canelo. Crawford's gonna have to, move up, and I knew when I boxed Golovkin, there's a big difference, especially with someone that, fighting a middleweight, a mediocre world champion's okay. But when you're fighting someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo, but, Crawford's very, very, very good.
You think Crawford's still got the legs? Obviously, he's very much got great IQ in the ring.
Brook pointed out how Canelo adjusts during fights and controls the action with strength and willpower. He said going up against someone like Canelo takes a new mindset and smarter training. Brook also made it clear he thinks the fight plays more in Canelo's favor and warned Crawford this is a different kind of fighter than he's ever battled before. The way Canelo switches his style and applies pressure can be overwhelming for anyone who steps into the ring with him. Crawford needs to be ready for a more physical challenge than he's faced in other matches. As Brook put it plainly, this won't be like past opponents, and any small mistake could quickly shift the entire momentum of the battle. Inside the ropes,
he's still got the legs to be maybe out-moving Canelo if he needs to.
Well, I don't know, I think when we look back at Mayweather when he beat Canelo, he's a mover. Crawford's not really like Mayweather in that aspect. He's more, he kind of sets his feet. He's just he's cute with how he approaches chucking shots and moving. I think it's a different fight to Mayweather, and Canelo's obviously a different fighter from when he boxed Mayweather. But like I say, it's one of them what we've got to tune into and watch. Both unbelievable fighters, but I'd have to favour Canelo. Just his size and his experience, and just his ring generalship, he's got confidence, he's big.
Longtime analyst Jim Lampley gave his full support to Canelo Alvarez. When talking about the upcoming fight with Terence Crawford, Lampley explained that even though Crawford is extremely talented and has an impressive record, Canelo stands out because of his ring-smart strength and experience in big fights. Lampley thinks Canelo's past success against top fighters in various weight divisions gives him an advantage. His ability to control timing and space lets him set the pace of the match, which is a key factor in this kind of showdown. Lampley added that Canelo's sharp defense and counter shots might limit what Crawford can do on offense. In the end, Lampley sees Canelo as having the better overall skill set despite how talented Crawford truly is.
He's a great defender. He has the most solid punch resistance of anybody in the sport. Nobody's ever knocked him off balance. Nobody's ever really knocked him down. There's only one official knockdown in his career, and it was because he bounced off the ropes when Jose Cotto hit him with a hard shot to the chest. And the referee employed a strict interpretation of the rules and said, oh, the ropes held you up, so that's a knockdown. He's never been put on his back by anybody. He rides horseback every morning. His legs are the strongest in the sport. You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time, Canelo beats himself. If he gets tired of all the discipline he has had to employ to make all the money he's made, if he has enough giant ranches in the Yucatan, if he has enough beautiful horses, if he has had enough unforgettable dinners with Mexican billionaires in Mexico City and Vegas, then maybe. But my guess is he will retire without incurring another loss because it's important to him to do that.
Which implies you like him against Bud Crawford.
I do like him against Bud Crawford, but I do think that it's a great fight. Now, I could change my mind when we get closer. Bud Crawford, to me, is a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the multiple skills of Sugar Ray Robinson. He can defend or attack. He has a deep inner mean streak that he can employ at any moment in a fight to get what he wants. Before the fight against, help me out here,
Madrimov was his last fight. Spence? Yes.
Before the fight against Errol Spence, there were quite a lot of people in the sport, in boxing media, who were saying, I like Spence to win the fight. I was one of those people who said, no way. Errol Spence doesn't have the depth.
Terence Crawford's track record says everything about his skills and success. He's shown top-level boxing strength and smart ring tactics in his journey, proving he belongs with the sport's best. Still, there's a strange gap between how experts see Crawford and how general fans view him. While those deep in boxing praise his sharp technique and brainy moves, casual watchers often ignore these qualities and prefer flashier action styles. Crawford likes to fight with patience and accurate counters mixed with solid defense. This smart approach works well, but gets labeled boring since it doesn't bring the non-stop action that draws casual viewers. Because of that, many people miss just how special Crawford's abilities truly are in the ring.
Crawford, on the other hand, he has been walking down his fighters, and people don't see that but me. For some reason, when I had that tape, people were screaming cat. And it's like David Evanesian, Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Gamboa, a meme machine. Even against Madrimov, the way he won the fight was by fighting. It wasn't Floyd Mayweather sticking. This guy has been too athletically gifted, and I mean explosive, hard punching, and too strong for his ops. When he's in orthodox, he boxes more. When he switch, he becomes a puncher. And now he's coming out southpaw. He ends you. He is not, you gotta watch him fight. He does do athletic things where his hands and his feet work together and he catches you for sure. But what he mostly do is he punishes and he bullies his op because he walks you down and whips your ass. He's an ass whip.
Boxing coach Bomac has a different take, praising Canelo's talent, but saying Crawford's clean technique puts him ahead in this fight. Bomac stated that while Canelo is clearly world-class, Crawford has better timing, quicker hands, and sharper ring control. He pointed to how focused and well-prepared Crawford is before every bout, saying this mindset helps him stay in control and outthink his rivals. Bomac believes Crawford's style could be the key, especially if he sticks to his plan and uses smart movement, while Canelo's power and big fight know-how make him dangerous. Bomac said Crawford's ability to think ahead and use angles might be what turns the fight in his favor. Instead of just trading blows, this could become a chess match.
Fight with Canelo Alvarez. It was interesting to see the comments from Canelo on how he sort of assessed Bud Crawford's career. I almost feel after the Spence fight that was like an exclamation point on everything he's done, maybe from the critics who never gave him credit, but it almost seems like Canelo was downplaying his achievements. What do you make of that? Is that to build a fight? Because it sells itself.
Well, I can tell you like this. I think Crawford rebuttal was everybody always say he hasn't fought nobody, or everybody that he fought was a no name. But I'm gonna tell you like this, what Crawford said. Well, they was something until Crawford fought him. So obviously he's doing a great job because he's making everybody look normal.
Not everyone, like when they go against Canelo, I don't think there's anyone else in boxing who you would ask and say this is a possible task for. But for Crawford, because of his pound-for-pound abilities, and apparently no rehydration clause. Am I hearing that right? He wants full smoke at that weight.
Let's go, man. That's what Crawford wants. He wants to show the world that he's the best. So, and why put stipulations in there when you know that you can be the best? So let's go test ourselves.
Look, I appreciate you taking this time, and we don't get to speak all the time, so it's good to get you over here, and maybe we'll catch up later in fight week, but I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right.
Canelo Alvarez's financial advisor, who's been guiding one of boxing's top moneymakers, spoke confidently about Canelo's physical edge leading into the bout with Crawford. The advisor said Canelo's strong build helps him absorb punches and dodge damage better than most fighters, which makes him stand out in the sport. His durability and ability to take hits without slowing down were presented as key reasons why he might hold the upper hand. The manager has worked closely with Canelo over the years and feels his conditioning and body type were made for long, tough battles in the ring, especially when compared with opponents who lack that same level of natural strength and toughness heading into hard matchups like this one.
I hope that Crawford didn't get any ideas from Skull. I don't think he did. I think Crawford is a hell of a fighter, and it's going to be a hell of a fight.
How does weight play a part in that fight?
Oh, what?
How does weight play a part in that fight, do you feel?
White?
Weight. The size difference.
Oh, no, I don't think that, that doesn't, like you saw today, the guy was like, I don't know how much taller. It didn't really play into it either. But Crawford is a hell of a fighter. And you saw today when they did the face-off in the ring, they're virtually height-wise, they are virtually the same. Crawford might even be a little bit taller. But when you look at Canelo, the way he's built, his legs, his shoulders, his neck, that is why he's never been hurt. And he's never been hurt fighting fighters at a substantially higher weight, substantially bigger than him, and they still couldn't hurt him.
Yeah.
And then you look at Crawford, who is a smaller guy, is moving up 2 weight classes, tried at 154, barely won, couldn't hurt Madrimov, and now he's going to go against the guy with the best chin in the sport. That's why probably odds maker have Canelo as a favorite. But having said all of that, Crawford is just a hell of a fighter. I was there when he fought, I was ringside when he fought Spence.
The advisor added that Canelo's stamina, muscles, and offensive kept him from suffering big damage. Even in fights with powerful punchers, his toughness is viewed as a big plus and could make a difference against Crawford, who is smaller and doesn't bring the same physical threat. The advisor also talked about Crawford's last few outings, saying they show a fighter who might not have the body strength to deal with Canelo's power and ability to take shots and keep moving forward. This opinion hints that Canelo's natural build and tough body work may overwhelm Crawford in later rounds, where raw toughness becomes a bigger part of the contest and starts to take over the early game. Plan strategy.
The way he just totally neutralized Spence's strengths was absolutely, it was breathtaking to watch this. So Crawford is a very skilled fighter, very smart fighter, but again, he's never fought anybody like Canelo. You look at Canelo's resume. Canelo fought, now it's 21 former or current world champions. There's only 2 fighters in the history of boxing who have more than that. One of them is Floyd Mayweather with 24, and the other one is Manny Pacquiao with 23. And he's the only active fighter who fought so many world champions. So I think experience will play a big factor as well. You look at Canelo's resume, but it is, I think, the biggest fight that can be made. I think it's the biggest fight the sport has seen going back to as long as I can remember. I think it's just simple. I've done some big fights with Floyd Mayweather, and I did Floyd Mayweather and Canelo. I promoted that, so I think this one is bigger than that.
Many experts agree that Terence Crawford has world-class talent and sharp fight IQ, but stepping in against Canelo brings real hurdles since he's going up in weight and taking on one of the top pound-for-pound champs boxing has seen. The pros think Crawford will stick with his trusted game plan, since making big changes this late in his career could backfire badly. Crawford's usual plan includes well-timed counters, smart defense, and patient setups that helped him win before. He'll likely stick with that versus Canelo, since changing it up might create risk. The jump in weight alone makes this tricky, and when mixed with Canelo's size and big fight skill, it means Crawford must fight smart, but not overreach himself.
How is Terence Crawford going to beat Canelo Alvarez? We need to talk about it. When we look at the guys who've had success with Canelo, we'll look at Bivol, we'll look at Golovkin, we'll look at Floyd, and we'll look at Lara. Yes, I'll throw Lara in there, why not? I think all these fights are absolutely irrelevant coming into this bout. Some of them are just dated, or some of these guys' style just cannot apply. For example, a guy in Lara. If Crawford wanted to fight how Lara fought Canelo, he would probably gas out in 7 rounds, or if he made it 12, he just wouldn't and get that decision. It's that simple. Let's take a guy in Golovkin. Crawford just simply does not have the punching power, nor do I think he has the gas tank at 68. He's not a good enough puncher to try to fight Canelo like Golovkin. He doesn't have the physical traits, even in the chin department. Then you have Floyd Mayweather. Well, both can have a bit of similarities. The speed, reflexes, technical prowess, IQ, timing, counterpunching, lateral movement. It's just too much from Floyd. I don't think Bud could take much from Floyd's game plan to implement it into his own success in September. And then you have Dimitri. The speed, the technical prowess, the IQ, the length is too much. So essentially, Terence Crawford is going to have to beat Canelo in a way that nobody has ever beaten him or gave him any issues in. I'm gonna tell you exactly how Crawford's gonna fight. He's gonna fight like his damn self. It's too late in his career to change up the game plan. It's too late in his career for him to want to change up the game plan coming to a fight of this magnitude with a style he's never fought before. That would be a recipe for disaster. He's gonna be more than likely off the back foot. He's gonna be looking for counter shots. And I think there will be a point in this fight where he's simply just trying to survive. I like Crawford. He's an amazing pound for pound fighter. A different animal at 168. This is one of the greatest of all time. I see win scenarios for him, but I don't see him being realistic. I can see him fighting off the back foot, using his speed, timing, and feet to stay away from Canelo. But that's very, very, very unlikely, damn near impossible.
Nico Ollie Walsh, a rising boxer and fight analyst, shared his view. Saying this match is super close, Walsh noted how Crawford's recent sparring with big fighters shows he can deal with size, which might help him against a stronger Canelo. This insight adds more depth to the debate, suggesting that Crawford trained to handle size and power better by working with bigger men in camp. Walsh feels this puts both men on even ground, where it could go either way, and no one has a real edge. His take shows how tough it is to call the fight, since both sides bring big strengths and different styles that can clash in interesting ways, making this one of the most unpredictable and thrilling bouts ahead.
Of Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool, and I have so much belief in Bud, and I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so what for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades. You can see it with his shadow boxing.
Respected coach and analyst Teddy Atlas gave a fair view on the Canelo vs Crawford fight. Atlas pointed out Canelo's strength, size, and power as key traits that shape fights, but he also gave full credit to Crawford's skills, quickness, smarts, and desire to win. Atlas described the bout as a real showdown, a force against finesse where each side has tools to win if they follow the right plan. Atlas stressed how even it is, and that it depends on who performs better on fight night. That will decide who comes out on top. This makes the fight a true toss-up in his view, with clear cases for both fighters winning, depending on how well they use their strengths and handle the pressure.
Well, come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beaten? He unified the what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter. Then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified like 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight. Guys are tired of me saying it. I look at him. Look, Canelo's special too. I get it, and he's bigger. I get that too. And everyone's gonna say, "Well, after Madrimore fight again, had a couple hiccups. Now he's stepping up another weight class. Now he's got to fight Canelo, who's even bigger, stronger, better puncher. A unified champion that he's been. All of that stuff. He's not going to be able to handle it." I asked this question. See, I go to the other side. I say, okay, Yeah, can Canelo handle the smaller guy who's going to be faster, who's going to be slicker, who's going to be better defensively, who's going to have better legs, who's going to be able sometimes Canelo at this point in his career can slow down a little bit. They're both getting older. I get it.